Say hey, Yellow Jacket football fans. Welcome to In the Locker Room with Coach Clay Stevenson. Coach, congratulations on a 38-14 victory over a very talented Douglas football team.
Yeah, thanks. I was super proud of the kids and coaching staff. It was we had a few tough draws, I guess you'd say, with two very athletic football teams. And Douglas had players all over the place. We were able to get out on them early, and defense played extremely well, and the offense only punted one time, had one turnover, one punt. So when you're having that kind of execution on the offensive side and keeping the ball away from their playmakers, and then when they do get the ball, you're getting some 3 and outs and some negative plays, and then special teams play solid. That normally accounts for a win.
Yeah, and then plus you picked up 2 turnovers defensively, so you won the turnover battle, so you won all 3 phases again.
Yeah, it was a good performance, like I said, from start to the finish. When we had to play together, because they've got individual great players. Had 5 stars and 4 stars, and guys going to big time schools all over the place. So we had to make sure that we played together, and everybody in that black uniform was playing as one, and I feel like that's what we did, and we're going to have to use all that and do it again this week.
Exactly, yeah, and one of their 4 or 5-star recruits is a freshman, a younger brother of the quarterback, and I think this will be the second week in a row we're facing brothers throwing to their receiver brothers. Right. It's nuts, but we'll get to Peach County in just a minute. Just outstanding effort for the Yellow Jackets. As we look at the stats, we had 114 yards rushing to their 68 on 29 carries. We had 276 yards passing to their 149. As you mentioned, we only punted once. Isaiah Knowles had 53 yards rushing. Hudson Chadwick had 45 yards rushing, passing. Trace went 13 for 20, 230 yards. Cross came in and went 1 for 1. Even caught a touchdown pass from Imari Winston, who had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
And on both of those rushing touchdowns, there were cornerbacks and safeties, and that 5 people standing in the end zone did not want any part of him running through the line.
No, they made some business decisions, but he was our offensive player of the week. Had a great game. He almost caught one. I think he got tackled on the 2, so yes. He almost hit for the cycle, but he did a great job for us on the offensive side. Great having him back in the lineup.
We used him, and it worked out really well,
right.
and it was great. He adds another dimension to the offense. Defensive player of the game?
Jackson Williams. He plays. He doesn't have a motor. It just stays on the whole time. It doesn't. Yes. There's no shut on, shut off. So he played a very physical, tough football game, and so very proud for him.
And our hog
of the week was Grant Prine.
Again,
we'll start calling it the Grant Prine Award. He's playing solid football, playing extremely hard, and doing a great job.
I notice at practices, Coach Atha with the Atha's Animals, I hear Prine's name being called out a lot, and I think Coach Atha really relies on him. It's not from a criticism standpoint, but if you were standing off the side and you couldn't hear what was being said, man, that coach is really getting on that guy. No, he's not really getting on him. I think he's like, I don't know if he's the quasi-leader of that line or not.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing the best football, so you normally gravitate for the person who plays the best, and he's super smart. All those guys up there, GPA's through the roof, so we're able to do a lot of things with those guys.
I had Sager Quinn with 2 tackles for a loss. Now, these are just my records, folks. They're not the official records. I also had Blake Hammett with a tackle for a loss and Alec Upshaw with a tackle for a loss. And then Sager Quinn, I had him for 2 sacks, and we also threw in a couple slobber knockers along the way.
Yeah, it was a very physical game on both sides of the ball. Everybody had some bumps and bruises for sure after the game on both sides.
It was amazing how deep their linebackers played and how quick they got to the line of scrimmage to fill holes. They were fast.
Yeah, there was a very, very fast defense. Probably not as big as Spalding was the week before, but
right.
They made up for it with their speed. Like you said, in the secondary and the linebacker core.
Yeah, they filled holes quickly, and that's why Atha's Animals, with the rushing game that we had, I just thought they did a really, really good job of settling down everything so the offense could perform. And You scored 31 points and gave up 6 in the first round, 38 points in the second round, the Sweet 16, and gave up 14. So if you look at that, we've scored 69 points and given up 20 in 2 rounds of football, and we didn't play any patsies, folks.
No, played some really good teams, great athletes, and again, we're sound like a broken record this coming up week.
Yes, yeah. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Peach County. We're going down to Fort Valley, as we mentioned on the locker room predictions, a team that we're familiar with.
Yep. Excuse me. Familiar with the team, but or the schools, I'd say, not necessarily the team. But yeah, we played them 4 out of 5 years, ending in 2019, and we got them the first 2 years. They got us the second 2 years. So, but now it's a different coaching staff there. That coach retired, and now they've got Marquise Westbrook, who won. I was trying to think of. I think he won 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6 state championships at Warner Robins, a bunch. So we know what kind of staff and what kind of preparation they're going to have. You know, obviously the kids are a little bit different, but they're extremely well coached. They got a lot of tradition there at Peach County. I think they had a losing record last year, maybe 4-7 or something. So we knew they were going to bounce back, and they're playing great football this year. Their offense is, I don't know, scoring 45 points a game, and they're not giving up, but 15 or so, maybe less than that on defense. So. They're a really good football team. It's going to be a really good test for us.
Yeah, they've scored 504 points offensively this year in 12 games. And like you said, they're giving up about 10 points a game. We come in scoring 30 points a game and giving up 15 points a game. So the defenses are pretty well matched up. You just got to find somebody when they're playing them has to find a way to slow that offense down. When I look at their offense, the offensive line, folks, is really big from left to right. The left tackle, I think, is around 290.
Yeah, I think they average over 290. They got a 300-pounder.
On right tackle.
Yeah, they've got some 300-pound guard. It's a freshman, been offered by every SEC school. So up front, they're a really good offensive line. We've kind of compared them to how Cartersville's offensive line has been the last 2 years. They were a little bit down this year, but the last 3 years of Cartersville's offensive line just big and nasty, and so we'll have a work cut out for us up front for sure on that side, just because they are so big and they can lean on you, and if you're not stopping the run, they'll just keep mashing the whole time. On the flip side, they've got a great quarterback that can put the ball where he needs to do it. He can run. They do a lot of design runs with him, and then the scramble runs are the tough ones to stop, because you gotta keep covering. Their wide receivers are really good. They're coached really well. They run great routes. So you got to cover in the back end and somehow contain the quarterback on the front end, and they're gonna make some plays. I've had to tell the defense that they're too good of offense not to make big plays. That we got to make sure we're rallying together and not giving up the big play touchdown. Make them just snap at another play and get some stops down the red zone. I think is going to be a big key for us.
And the quarterback only completes 79% of his passes when he does throw it.
Yeah,
when he's not using his legs. Yeah, you watch highlights of it, and you get to thinking, oh my golly, anybody could play quarterback for this team, because the pocket just stays clean a lot.
Yeah, but he does a great job. Like I said, I think he wants to throw the ball.
Yes,
he's a great thrower. But you shut that down, and he's so fast out there on the perimeter that it's going to be like I said, a tough test.
It's it might be the only time this year, outside of watching the Yellow Jackets film on them, that I've seen the same 5 guys on every game that I've seen tape on are playing from left tackle to right tackle. And somebody told me that the right guard, the freshman, may be the best lineman on the team by far.
You don't get offers from Georgia for nothing. But he's young. He's a freshman, but doesn't play like one.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Defensively, how are they going to line up against us?
Yeah, defensively, they're a little bit smaller than their offensive line, but they're extremely quick. They move their front a lot, so they make up for their size by moving those guys. They play 4 down most of the time, so they move those guys and loop them and twist them and just do a lot of different stuff with their front 4. and then they play loose and off on the back end. So they try to keep everything in front of them, and just cause a little bit of chaos up front, and then use their athletic ability out on the edge to come up and make a tackle. So it'll be a little bit different, I guess, from last week's kind of game of, Douglas liked to get up in your face and play a lot of man-to-man.
Yes, they did.
Peach is a little bit more off, still play some man, but they play off and kind of match it up when you get out there. So it'll be a game that you just kind of have to be patient. And with the flip side of it, we've got to get down there and score in the red zone and keep them out of the end zone when we're on defense.
It has been a good week of practice as far as the weather's concerned. I've been to a couple practices. I know what I'm thinking, but they don't want to hear what I'm thinking. They want to hear from you. Practice is gone.
Yeah, practice has been good, other than I think we've had to make 3 different wardrobe changes for each practice.
Yes.
The first day it was really cold and it got hot.
Windy.
And then yesterday it was chilly, then the sun came out, and then got chilly again. So I think I put my jacket back on. Today was just nice. It was a perfect day. Maybe dodging rain tomorrow on Thanksgiving. They have to check they've changed it every day, the forecast.
Yes,
so we'll see. Then Friday, it's going to be completely different weather because it's going to be cold and a little bit breezy, I think, down there. So it went from 80, I think, Monday, going to be down in the 20s here Friday, and I think in the mid-30s up down there. So
yeah, by the time we unload after the victory back here at Vasa Cates Center, it's going to be in the mid-20s. I mean, it's going to be cold stepping off that bus.
It will be.
But it'll be good weather for the guys because last week we got a little dose of it in 40-degree weather, and the guys didn't seem to suffer at all for it. And I know they're not going to suffer, as you said. Guys are out there running around. They heat up pretty quick.
Yeah, the guys on the sideline, those are the ones that get cold, but that use those heaters. But the guys out there playing, it's not too terrible if the wind isn't blowing. So I have to kind of check and see how the wind's going to be down there, but shouldn't play too much of a role.
I'm sure you're going to stop somewhere to eat and work out on the way down there.
Yeah, we're going to go all the way down. We're actually going a little bit past Peach, going down to Perry, and going to this place down there and just doing all of our walkthroughs and eating pregame meal there. And then it's about a 10-mile trek back
right?
up, so probably a 15, 20-minute trip back to the stadium.
Yeah, I didn't realize Perry was that close to him. Yeah. Well, that's good. So it'll be a nice trip. It'll be nice to get off Interstate 75, and hopefully we don't run into any log jams for the fans and the buses.
Yeah, I'm hoping not. Black Friday, you hit a little traffic on the where the malls are, but there's no Friday afternoon traffic that you're having to deal with normally. But we're leaving Friday morning, so it'll be a full day. But I told the kids, once you get down there, Thanksgiving's over. The bus trip's over. Once we get down to where we're going, it's all football from that point forward. So hopefully we can stay focused these next couple of days, have fun with our families, and enjoy the road trip down there, and then be ready to go.
Exactly. And one of the things, I don't know how much attention the current players play to this, but Snowmageddon was a heck of a ball game, the 2017 championship. We parents, we adults, I'm anxious to be down there because I just think the atmosphere is going to be electric.
Yeah, it should be. We played them that year, and then they came here and played the semifinal game the next year. They beat us 22-7. And then in 2019, we went down there in the second round, and they beat us, I think, 35-0. But it was a good atmosphere. But it's completely different. It's completely renovated, so a brand new stadium,
yes,
brand new turf field. So interested to go down there and see exactly all the changes, but looking forward to it for sure.
We had a long walk, and we used a lot of cable at the old stadium, and I'm sure the new stadium is set up much differently.
Yeah, we've tried to look at it on the map, and but we'll see when we get there, I guess.
Well, hey, practice has gone well. We got a Thanksgiving dinner coming up on Thursday, which we're all thankful for everything that's happened. I'm guessing that the guys are just going to be fired up and juiced up. I liked your post-game pep talk on Wednesday's practice, how you talk to the guys. But, yeah, we'll celebrate Thursday Thanksgiving. And as you reminded them, if you're practicing on Thursday morning and eating turkey later.
Yeah, like I said, all week we're, make sure we realize how blessed we are to have the things that we have, number one, and then to be at Calhoun. There are places that don't take near as care of the program that we do. So we've got a lot to be thankful for with our administration, our teachers, and our touchdown club, and our parents. A lot to be thankful for, and just not to take it for granted. Everybody doesn't get to practice on Thanksgiving. I actually had a text Friday night after the game from a former player, just telling me that make sure you remind those boys how important it is to be practicing on Thanksgiving. So hopefully the kids didn't take it for granted. I know we as coaches didn't, and we got a few guys on staff. It's their first time doing it, so they've been all excited, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's practice. Like I said, it should be, even though it's just in helmets, should be a great practice, and get it over with and go spend some family time, and then get up Friday ready to go.
And Wednesday was a really good practice. I liked what I saw at Wednesday practice, and at Thursday, like you said, the walkthrough in helmets only. That would be a lot of fun. Hey, I'm going to let you get back to your duties.
All right, appreciate it.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm looking forward to getting down there and seeing what we can do.
I'm anxious to make the trip down there also. Folks, wear your black and gold, pack the stands, and enjoy a post-Thanksgiving really good ball game between Calhoun at Peach County. You've been listening, by the way, this is being brought to you by the Calhoun Touchdown Club, and you've been listening to Coach Clay Stevenson on In the Press Box.